What's up, what it do? It's your boy Dead Gamer, back with another Borderlands related video. Appreciate you coming to the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe for more video game content. With that being said, I want to talk about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands for a little bit. I've been doing some digging and looking and just, some speculating, whatever the case may be. And just wanted to talk about the future of the franchise, the lore, the series that is Borderlands in general. So, to start this off, I wanted to talk about the ESRB rating for the game. Now, if you don't know what the ESRB rating for video games are, it's usually what you see on the box when you go to the store and you buy it, and it says rated E for everybody, M for mature, that type of thing, like movies, how this movie is PG-13 or that movie is rated R. It's kind of like that. But the ESRB is the official rating for video games, no matter what genre it is. So this sticks out to me, and it's important because on the official Gearbox website, so about a month or two ago, right? I think this was posted, yeah, June 14th. So around June 14th, so about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Now this might have been around the time we heard about and got a look at Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Excuse me. So on their official website, which is still up right now as I'm currently looking at it, they're saying a lot of things about Wonderlands. They're excited for it. They names and things that's going to happen, might not happen, whatever the case. And there's a little piece of a paragraph, few sentences here, and it says, developed by Gearbox Entertainment, the anticipated ESRB rating for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is T for teen. For screenshots, key art, and other visual assets, please visit blah blah blah, and to learn more, please visit the Wonderlands website. Now, this sticks out to me because the Borderlands franchise, ever since the first Borderlands, has always been rated M for mature. Not just because, the guns, blood, and violence, language, whatever the case may be, but I mean, yeah, with all of that included, but just because there are adult themes in this game. There are things in this game that children and young people up to a certain age should not be hearing, seeing, whatever the case. But I've touched on this topic before, where parenting and video games, I touched on it episodes ago. I have a show called The Gamers Den, so y'all can go through that. It might be one of the episodes where I talked about Ninja. I forgot which one specifically, but he has spoke on, this type of thing, and that's where I kind of speak on it at. So I'm not going to go into it in depth there, but y'all can check one of those shameless plugs. It's rated T for teen, and the entire franchise of Borderlands that Tiny Tina is a part of, it's all rated M for mature. So to see that, they kind of landing for T for teen, kind of alerts me a little bit, because we might not get the same experience that we've been getting throughout the entire franchise. Now, yes, even Tales of the Borderlands, or from the Borderlands, was rated M for mature, even though that was made by Telltale Games. It was still rated M. Like, the whole thing is still rated M. And like I said, I'm concerned because we might not get the same experience from the jokes, the dialogue, things like that, whether they're actually cursing in the dialogue or not. Like, here's some dialogue right here that y'all can check out that we might not get this severity, degree, or just volume of in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Check it out.
I am your pepper, Mr. Salts. Now sprinkle me on your booty as you shake, shake, shake.
So, that right there, as funny as it was, when I heard it, I just busted out crying. It was the funniest thing. The psychos in Borderlands, they just say any and everything. Like, the person, like the script, whatever for that is, they just say any and everything. They gonna let it fly. It's gonna rock. So we might not, yeah, I know this is, yes, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is gonna be more geared towards MMORPG play style. You could create your character, goblins and dungeons and stuff like that. Even then, We're talking about the essence and the legacy of Borderlands as just a franchise. So yes, this could be its own standalone game, but it's a standalone game with a more or less important or highly notable and likable character inside the franchise. So we know Tina to just say some wild stuff herself. She speaks and say whatever, just blurts out her mind too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she says stuff and it's funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows if her dialogue and everything is going to change, or how she speaks as a character is going to change based or not, because of the T for teen rating. You know, so it's definitely a concern. What also concerns me about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is the fact that a couple directors and senior people that worked at Borderlands left. I don't know if anybody talked about this in the Borderlands community or not, made videos or not, but I'm gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk about it today. So apparently, you know, 7 developers left Gearbox, and you know, Randy respond, and you know, officials respond, and this is what they had to say. This small group is great and talented, and we are so thankful for their contributions, creativity, and leadership. They departed Gearbox on the best of terms, and we wish them well on their new venture. I am excited about their prospects and am eager to see where their efforts take them. I'm also hopeful that our strong, mutual, respectful relationship will lead to a lasting partnership in a new form. And that's not all they said. That's not all they said. They also said before their transition, the group was part of a not yet announced pre-production team, and their departure will cause minimal disruption in our current plans. If there was going to be a move, this is the best possible time for that. So, the people that have left or reportedly left are Paul Sage. He was, excuse me, let me say the titles of these people. Creative director Paul Sage, senior producer Christopher Brock, lead mission designer Keith Schuler, art director Scott Kester, UX director Chris Strauss, and lead character artist Kevin Penrod. So one thing you have to understand about the Borderlands franchise, right? In each game, whether you want to look at it in chronological order or jump all over the place, development and the people behind each game kind of switched hands. So not to say that a move like this always happened per Borderlands game, because that's just not the truth. You know, because we know that people who voice these characters, they stay on board 9 times out of 10. You know, the art style kind of stays, so some of the art people stay, some of them go. It's just how it is in the video game industry at these developers. I mean, with these developers in these companies, some people stay for a series and some people don't. You know, it's the same thing with Darksiders. Darksiders was coming out of, you know, Gunfire Games, and it still come out of Gunfire Games. But THQ Nordic got acquired by, I forgot that company that acquired them. You know, and it's just been quiet on Darksiders 4 ever since. I look into Darksiders 4 at least like once a month, like every week, 2 weeks or something, and I'm just coming up with pure squat. I don't know what's going on. We don't know if they put a stranglehold on Gunfire Games or what, but that's not what this is about. All these people left to form or work somewhere else or form a new development company, whatever the case may be. They claim that this is not going to hinder anything they have in the pipeline. You know, so if you want to say, oh, this doesn't affect Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, okay. But this also means it might affect Borderlands 4. And this is why I said the legacy of Borderlands is in question. Now, I've also questioned this in previous episodes. And once again, I have a show called The Gamers Den. I drop at least 1 or 2 times a week here on Hideout TV and on YouTube. So definitely catch it. You know, shameless plug again. Where I've talked about, what's going to happen to the franchise? What's going to happen to the franchise? Because Borderlands 3 more or less has the Borderlands community in a mixed bag. with mixed emotions. Some people like it, some people don't. I think everybody is in agreement with, we wanted to see what the watcher was going to talk about. We wanted a continuation of the story and the lore from Borderlands 2, but you give us a brand new filler game basically where you kill off characters that everybody liked it, which doesn't make any sense. But you know, they came out and said that what the watcher was talking about is a whole game in itself. Well, we know that, and that's what we expected, and that's what I was getting. That's what I'm getting at. Overall, the expectations of the Borderlands fans were way higher than what we got. We were pretty much expecting these same mechanics of Borderlands 3 with an even greater story, or the same level quality story of Borderlands 2. You know, basically Borderlands 3 mechanics, Borderlands 2 story. That's what we wanted, and we didn't get that. People, I've made a video talking about a leak, which was the latest DLC, whatever the case, and I'm not talking about vault cards or nothing. I'm talking about the Ava Murder Mysteries. I did that video. It did about 10,000 views. I was arguing back and forth with people in the comments about this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be, just for people to double back months and time later to be like, oh, you were right. Everything you said in the video was right. It's not that. Like, what y'all have to understand is, you know, I'm looking at the top down, right? So we talking about Gearbox all the way to me, to you, to your brother, your sister, your son, your kids that sit next to you watching the video right now, because everybody is concerned or interested or just has some type of thought about what's going to happen with Tiny Tina's Wonderland, what's going to happen with Borderlands 4, what are we expecting, what's going on in this story. Because Tiny Tina's Wonderlands may or may not, it's a possibility it could fill in some holes, but if this is going to be Dungeons and Dragons, unless it's a planet that's just hella medieval, I don't see how Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is going to fit into the canon story of Borderlands. But, you know, the legacy of this franchise, I almost forgot the movie, but actually the movie don't count. The legacy of this franchise is hanging in balance and is definitely in limbo. We're gonna end the video. I'm in the video saying this. If Borderlands 4, if the next big installment, the Watcher and all this, because they've even said on the Borderlands show on Twitch, YouTube, however they do it, that it's an entire game in itself that they're working on. Yes, Gearbox is working on other IPs. Yes, Gearbox is, you know, they pushing out other things and they got a lot of other things going on. I get it. But when you guys do deliver Borderlands 4 and it does not redeem in writing and story from Borderlands 3, and we don't have the same level of mechanics in Borderlands 3 and or better, Gearbox single-handedly destroyed one of the best looter shooter, first-person looter shooter games of all time. You can say it's a hot take, you can say it's whatever, but Borderlands 1, you strike gold. Borderlands 2, you strike even more gold. The pre-sequel got love later on after it released. Tales from the Borderlands, people enjoyed time after it released. Borderlands 3, everybody's mixed emotions about it, but more or less we accept it. This is what we got, so this is what we doing. The movie is whatever. People is leaving Gearbox. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, great. Y'all been working on it before COVID, before all this situation. That's great. We just want that good quality. We want a game to feel like Borderlands, and I think Gearbox missed the mark with Borderlands 3 of it feeling like Borderlands. But that's gonna be it for this video, man. If you enjoyed this video, like I said, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, to the page. It'll definitely help the God out. And with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all next time, man. Gone.